Sunday, January 20, 2019. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1998 Volvo V70 GLT project wagon. Well, with a little bit of luck, this car is going to be on the road tonight. As I explained in my last installment, I kind of have a fire under me right now to get this car on the road. And I did work all through last weekend and every evening this past week, almost until midnight on the car, so I made a lot of progress. I'm not sure if it was done when I last filmed, but the timing belt is done. Did a lot of work in the interior. I will show you that in a moment. I did the brakes. Not sure if you can see how shiny that rotor is, but new rotors on all four corners, new pads on all four corners, new brake hoses up front, two used calipers in the rear. The fronts were okay. New parking brake cables, new fluid. So that's done. In the engine compartment here, like I said, timing belt is done. And yesterday I did the PCV system, and I didn't realize that it was much more of a pain to do that on a turbocharged engine as are other jobs. I mean, this will certainly be the last turbo that I buy. In terms of maintenance, for me, it's just not worth it for the extra complication. I'll show you the interior in a moment. Let me just show you what I'm going to be doing today. As you can see, I've got some hoses here. This is the old radiator hose that came with the car, and this had a split at the bottom, and I cut it shorter, and I just used that to test the car. But it was an old hose. So I ordered a radiator hose a few months ago. That's this one. But when I finally put them side by side, they were different. And although I thought that, maybe I might be able to wrestle this one into place and make it work, it wasn't close enough for my liking. So I got this one here locally, and this one does match the one that came out of the car. So I'll be finishing up the cooling system today. There's a couple of hoses here, thermostat. So you gotta get the air box back in, cap, rotor, cam seals to be sure. The upper engine mount, I'm going to do that. I did the lower engine mount already, as well as the transmission mount. The transmission mount seemed fine, but the lower engine mount was completely shot. And let me just show you the interior here. There's no light, unfortunately, so you may have to use your imagination a bit. But I have replaced the carpeting. Last weekend when I took the carpeting out, I realized that the heater core was bad, so I did put in a brand new heater core. I got to do some buttoning up here in the interior. Overall, I did get it clean and happy with the way it turned out. I got a new scan tool, and I was able to shut off the airbag light, and I think that may have just been a one-time thing. We'll see if it comes back on when I drive the car. And if not, I have a tool that will actually diagnose it at this point. That's the orange scan tool right there. And like I said, my goal, if possible, is to drive this car into work tomorrow. It's a bit of a lofty goal, but let's see if I can make it work. I've got a lot of little trim items to do. For example, put the fuel door on. Get the remainder of the rear seat reinstalled. Like I said, I had these two seats out to clean them and to replace the carpeting, and also for better access to the heater core. So yeah, I'm close on this car, very close. It's early afternoon now, and hopefully by tonight I will have this car out and hopefully inspected no later than tomorrow. I mean, the inspection ran out in 2015, I want to say July, so I can move the stuff off the sticker there. So yeah, inspection is 3.5 years overdue, but the car hasn't been driven in that long, with the exception of the very short test drive I did right when I got the radiator into the car. But I'm optimistic. I'm so far happy with the way it's turned out. I did have to take one shortcut, which I will hopefully correct in the near future. Now, normally when I do the cooling system, I do all the hoses, every single one, just to eliminate points of failure. But on the turbo here, and I don't know if you can see down there, you probably can't really see what I'm pointing at, but those are the two heater hoses coming off the engine. And I absolutely could not get enough clearance to get anywhere near them to replace them. So, which is okay because I also didn't order those hoses. So those are probably original to the car, and I think there's one or two hoses actually going out of the turbocharger. Once again, could not gain access. So, because I have a fire under me to get another running car on the road, what I'm probably going to do is just live with these hoses in the short term, and then either figure out a better way to deal with it, or maybe find a Volvo specialty shop and actually pay somebody else to do that. So, yeah, I've got some buttoning up to do here, but all the heavy lifting is done, so I'm going to get to work, and like I said, hopefully by tonight I'll have this car out of the garage and on the road. And once this car's on the road, I can concentrate on this one. More details on this bad boy in my next video.